Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rakha Kwadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahawashi's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahawashi. And I'm just getting off work, getting off the plantation. Spirit is on me to do a lesson. And I wanted to do a lesson going into some things to consider during Yahawashi's persecution, from the time that he was persecuted to the time he had to bear his cross, all the way up to the time that he got crucified on the cross. Okay, because we're getting ready to enter into a time to where some of us is going to have to sacrifice our life for this thing. You see, this truth. Like the apostles and the elders always say, this truth is deadly serious, And for you guys who call yourself wanting to be servants and prophets of the Lord, you need to consider what you're really into. Because the Holy Scriptures, believe it or not, is a living, breathing book. Okay? And a matter of fact, everything that we're doing in today's time is because the Scripture said that we would be doing it. Everybody on this planet is playing their lot as the Holy Scripture said they would. So, one moment, so, I got to get my bike and all. But you see, there's a lot of things to consider, during Yahawashi's persecution, all the way up to when he got crucified. And some of the things that we could consider is, what was said to him, some of the thoughts, the type of mind frame that Yahawashi had when he was being questioned. You see? So I'm gonna go ahead and read this right here. One moment. Bear with me for one moment, please. So some things to consider would be Matthew chapter 26 and verse 57. It says, and they, talking about those wicked Israelites, okay? And they that had laid hold on Yahawashi led him away to Caiaphas, the high priest, where the scribes and the elders were assembled. Okay, now, was Yahawashi nervous during this time? More than likely, yeah, And don't get me wrong, when you're in handcuffs, when you're sitting in the back, because at this point, this is the part where Yahawashi is being arrested. He's being arrested and he's being brought into the custody of the government of those wicked Israelites. So some of us are going to be detained by either martial law troops, SWAT troops, whatever. Some of us is going to be arrested. We're going to be sitting in the back of, the SWAT. And, normally when somebody gets arrested, right, because it's all a war on your mind. Normally when somebody get arrested and they're sitting in the back of a police car, they're already thinking about ways on how they can talk their way out of their sentence. You know? Oh no, Judge, please. I was hungry. He did this, or she cheated on me. He did that. This person took this from me, so I didn't. Look, Yahawashi did not have that kind of mind frame. Yahawashi was in the spirit of not my will, but thy will, Yahweh, be done. So when, in an event that, either of us, including myself, if we get arrested and we're sitting in the back of a FEMA truck, a SWAT truck, or the type of mindset we should have is not my will, but thy will, O Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, be done. Because everything that is happening in the present and that will happen in the future is already pre-written. And it's going to play out how the Lord said it will play out. We just got to do our part, be humble, and pray. Because I'm pretty sure that even while Yahawashi was detained, while he was being brought into custody before Caiaphas, that wicked high priest, right? I'm pretty sure even then Yahawashi was praying in his head, Yahweh, Baba Kashah, give me the strength to, I beg of you, give me the strength to, get through, what I have to get through. Yahawashi, I'm pretty sure when he was in the custody of those wicked Israelites, right? He wasn't just, quiet, looking all mean and shit, trying to look tough, while walking, while all tied up. Nah, man, in his head, he was probably praying the whole time. So that's the type of mindset we got to have right there. So there's a lot you can learn just from this scenario alone. Matthew 26:57. And they that had laid hold on Yahawashi led him away. So this is the part where Yahawashi is detained, he's arrested, and he's being brought before that wicked council, okay? And took him away to Caiaphas, the wicked high priest, where those wicked scribes and the elders were assembled. But Peter followed him afar off unto the high priest's palace and went in and sat with the servants to see the end. Now excuse me. Satan is at work here. But it says, now the chief priests and the elders, all the council sought false witnesses against Yahawashi to put him to death. So expect that as well. When you're in custody, when you're in the custodies of these so-called elites, when you're in the custody of this wicked government, consider the fact, or better yet, don't even consider. Expect Esau to bring up false witnesses against you. And the false witnesses could come in many ways and forms. Slaki, if I'm speaking a little louder, I'm currently at the bus station. I'm not at the job right now. So I can raise my voice as loud as I want because I'm technically outside waiting for the bus. Nobody can say anything to me about it. But, okay. Expect Esau to bring up false witnesses against you. And guess what? That false witness can come in many ways and forms and fashions. A false witness can come in the form of a person testifying against you, just like they did here. It might be a wicked ass Israelite. He might rise up a false witness against you. The false witness might come up and say, yeah, you see, this person, he raped this person. He threatened to do this to that person, and it happened. We got the video right here to prove it. A false witness can also come in the form of them modifying your video. Take that into consideration. They might download your video, they might chop it up and make it seem like, you said this and that, and then, they might play out a scenario where an agent provocateur did something and then they put the blame on you. So consider that. Expect false witnesses to be brought up against you, because false witnesses was brought up against Yahawashi. Okay? Now the chief priests and the elders and all the council sought false witness against Yahawashi to put him to death. Okay? So guess what? The same thing's going to happen to some of his servants. So we have to expect these things because that time is coming. But found none. Yea, though many false witnesses came, yet found they none. Okay? At the last came 2 false witnesses and said, this fellow said, I am able to destroy the temple of Yahweh and to build it in 3 days. Okay? Now the reason why this person is considered a false witness is because when Yahawashi was talking about the temple, he was not talking about the physical temple. Okay? He was talking about the spiritual temple. Okay? In the book of 1 Corinthians, the 3rd chapter and the 16th verse, what does it say? Know ye not that ye are the temple of Yahweh, and that the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi dwelleth in you? So Yahawashi was talking about the spiritual temple, but this false witness said that Yahawashi was talking about the physical temple. This false witness said that Yahawashi was talking about the physical temple. Yeah, you know, he basically said, hey, look, Yahawashi is here said that he's able to destroy the physical temple and to build it in 3 days. And Yahawashi was not even talking about the physical temple. So this false witness, this person was not spiritual. So he lied on Yahawashi. And in the book of Exodus, the 20th chapter, it tells you that thou shalt not bear false witness. Okay? So expect false witnesses to be brought up against you because it happened to Yahawashi. Okay? Verse 62, and the high priest arose and said unto him, answerest thou nothing? So expect to be yelled at. You know, while you're being persecuted, expect interrogators. You know, you might be sitting in a interrogation room because at this point, Yahawashi is being interrogated. So, you know, when the time comes for us to be arrested and to be brought to Esau's councils, expect to be yelled at during your interrogation. You know, answerest thou nothing? You know how Jake is. Jake likes to get a little extra and shit. You know, he was probably yelling at Yahawashi, answerest thou nothing? He probably picked up a chair, slammed it against the wall. He probably kicked the table. Answerest thou? You see what I mean? He was probably punching the wall and shit. You know, kicking scrolls, knocking scrolls off the table. So expect that to come to you, to me. In the event that we do get arrested and we get brought before the council of Esau, expect these things to happen to you during your interrogation, okay? And the high priest arose and said unto him, answerest thou nothing? Okay, what is it? Which these witnesses against thee? Then I'm gonna pause right here because I gotta get on the bus. So a salakia about that. I am off the bus now. So I will continue with the lesson. Some things to consider during when Yahawashi was being persecuted. Okay. And like I said in the last verse I wrote, you know, Jake liked to be a little extra for it. So at Matthew 26 verse 62, this is the part where Yahawashi was being interrogated. You see, Yahawashi was going through interrogation. You know, they was questioning him. They was probably knocking over papers, slamming chairs in the walls, you know, using fear tactics in order to get Yahawashi to denounce his faith, his belief in Yahweh. So when we're sitting in interrogation rooms, you know, we're going to be presented with the same like interrogation. Now, like Yahawashi said, you know, the servant is not greater than his master. See, the servant is not greater than his master. Okay, so what Yahawashi went through, we're going to have to go through as well. Now, some of us, we're not going to be faced with death, you know, but this video is not about, you know, how, you know, some of Yahawashi's like men is going to still be alive even when Yahawashi come back. This video is mainly geared towards, you know, the type of mindset you should have in an event that you get arrested. You're sitting in an interrogation room, you're being asked questions, and what you shall say. Now, in the book of Matthew, okay, Yahawashi said, you know, take no thought what ye shall say or how ye shall answer, for it is not you that speaketh, but the Father that speaketh in you. So in an event, you know, like it says here, Matthew 26, verse 62, and the high priest arose and said and asked him, answerest thou nothing? What is it which these witness against thee? But let's see what Yahawashi's response was. Let's see if, you know, Yahawashi panicked. I mean, which I'm pretty sure he was nervous, right? He was in the flesh. Yahawashi was not invincible, even though he had spiritual power. But one thing about Yahawashi was that he was not invincible, and he understood this. He was in the flesh. You know, we're going to be nervous. You know, all kind of thoughts is going to be going through our mind. Remember when Yahawashi was in the Garden of Gethsemane and he was praying to the Heavenly Father. Okay, imagine what kind of thoughts was going through his mind. You know, please, Father, I don't want to, you know, he knew the type of things he was going to have to suffer. Broken bones, you know, broken rib cages, bruises, bleeding everywhere, you know, face beaten beyond recognition, all joints out of place, etc., man. You know, his eye was probably busted up. So yeah, you know, we might be arrested. We might be sitting in the back of a FEMA truck thinking about all the pain that we might have to endure. But what did Yahawashi say? Fear not him which kill the body, but fear him that can kill both body and soul in hell. So, you know, whatever these devils bring, man, hey, and like I said earlier, Yahawashi was praying the whole time, man. From the time that he got detained and arrested and was before he got brought to the high priest, even up until then, Yahawashi was sending up prayers. You know, Yahweh, Baba Kashar, give me the strength to get through whatever I am put through. You see, and this is the mind state we should all have. Matthew 26, verse 63, but Yahawashi held his peace. You see that? Yahawashi didn't say anything, you know. Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1. For every purpose, there's a time and a season to everything under the sun. So there's a time and a place for everything, a time to keep silent and a time to speak. Now, while Yahawashi actually did say that the temple would be rent in pieces, and on the third day it shall be rebuilt, but Yahawashi was not talking about the actual temple in Jerusalem. He was talking about the spiritual temple, man. As I broke down earlier, you know, 1 Corinthians 3 and 16. You know, the Israelite man is the temple of Yahweh, and it's really talking about a elect man. You know, Lord's will, I'm of the elect. I'm hoping to be of the elect, but a elect man of Yahweh. That's the temple of the Lord right there, okay? And that the Spirit of the Lord dwelleth in you. See? So Yahawashi was not talking about the actual temple in Jerusalem. But again, you had a witness that came up. He didn't know what the hell he was talking about, and he opened his mouth and he ended up lying on Yahawashi because he was not spiritual. He thought Yahawashi was talking about the actual temple, but he wasn't. So Yahawashi held his peace, and the high priest answered and said unto him, I adjure thee by the living God that thou tell us whether thou be the anointed, the son of Yahweh. And Yahawashi saith unto him, thou hast said, nevertheless I say unto you, hereafter shall ye see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand power and coming in the clouds of heaven. So Yahawashi, he basically not only did he speak the truth, but he prophesied of his own coming in this generation. So these same wicked ass high priests and these same wicked scribes and these same wicked Israelites that was persecuting Yahawashi around this time, according to Bible prophecy, they're going to actually see Yahawashi when he returns. Because Yahawashi straight up told them. He said, ye shall see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of the power and coming in the clouds with great glory. Now in Psalms chapter 104, verse 3, it tells you that the clouds are the chariots. So the chariots is what the world calls UFOs. So when Yahawashi come back, he's coming back in what the world calls UFOs. Okay? Verse 65, then the high priest rent his clothes, saying, he have spoken blasphemy. What further need have we of witnesses? Behold, now ye have heard his blasphemy. So, you know, these devils, they might question you in the interrogation room. And, you know, you know, well, whatever the Lord decided, whatever answer the Lord decide to give them through you, whatever answer the Lord decide to give them through you, it's going to be based on the Holy Scriptures and what is written. And you know what these devils are going to say? The exact same thing these wicked ass Israelites said back then. You know, he has spoke blasphemy, you know. You mean telling me I'm going to be a slave in the kingdom, boy? Hey, and you might quote Revelation 13, verse 9. And you know what? Esau might lose it. You know, he might rip up his suit. He might rip his suit up. What? Yeah, I'm gonna be a slave? Really? He might rip up his suit. No, he might bang his fist on the table. Answer me if these things are true. Hey, motherfucking Revelation 13, verse 9 to 10. The fuck, you know, I ain't got shit to, you know. Lord might put the spirit on you. Lord might put the spirit on you to curse these devils out. You know, you might start quoting Jeremiah 30 and 16. Okay, Lamentations 4 and 21. First, 2 Thessalonians 1 and 6, Isaiah 14, you know? You see? So then it says, what think ye? They answered and said, he is guilty of death. So that's what it's going to come down to, you know? The interrogation, the interrogators, they're going to get the undesired answers that they don't want to hear. So in the back of their mind, well, we have determined, you know, this guy is guilty of committing this crime. He did this, he did that. He's responsible for the death of these people. You know, he is guilty of death, which is going to fulfill the prophecy of Revelation 20 and 4. You know, some of us is going to be beheaded for this truth. You see? So it's all going to lead up to getting beheaded. Just like how this persecution, this interrogation that Yahawashi went through, this persecution that Yahawashi went through, it all led up to him ultimately being crucified, murdered. You see? So if you call yourself being a brother or a servant in the truth, get in the mindset of you might have to die soon for this truth. Okay. Then they said, what think ye? And they answered and said, he is guilty of death. So Esau might question his attorneys, his defendants. You know, they might question the judge. What think ye? And the judge might say, boom. You know, he might bang his little, you know, his little punk ass hammer on that little table they be sitting at. He is guilty. Okay. Then did they spit in his face and buffeted him, and others smote him with the palm of their hands. So, you know, that might happen in the interrogation room as well. You know, you might get punched in your face. They might kick you while you're sitting in a chair. You might fall to the ground. You know, you might get kicked while you're on the ground. Especially if they're using Jake as the interrogator. You know, Jake is gonna be extra with it. He might punch you while you're on the ground. You know, you nigga, you boom, boom, boom. You know, No, you know how many people, you know how many lives you're responsible for this. You see? Probably kicking you while you're on the ground, spitting on you. You see? These things are coming. So get in that mindset. Get in the mindset, because Yahawashi went through this, and his servants is going to have to go through it. Okay? Saying, prophesy unto us, thou anointed, who is he that smote thee? You know, they might even mock you. You know, they might talk shit about you at the interrogation room. You might be bleeding from your nose, your lip. You might have a busted lip. You know, you might have a swollen eye. You know, and they might be talking shit at you at the interrogation room. Ha ha ha, yeah. Why don't you tell her which one of you gave you a black eye, nigga? Yeah, come on, tell us. Huh? Is a master still gonna be slave? Is he still gonna be a slave in the kingdom? I mean, but you pretty much get the point, man. You know, just some things to consider. Some things to consider of what Yahawashi experienced during this persecution, and the type of mind state that you should be in when it's time for you to be persecuted, when it's time for us to be persecuted, because that time is drawing nigh. With that, I'm going to say shalom. It's on to the next one.